And now this isn't January 2019, but that's where I did this the first time. Together, we are better. So 60 seconds of good vibrations. The distance between your dreams and reality is called action. And if we never get outside of our comfort zone and take that action, we will never be getting to our dream. So it really takes us making that first step, making that contact, having that communication. And when we think about our dreams, that is, what is it that we really want? What do you want your next step to be? What would you, if you could, if I had a magic basket and you could pick everything you wanted out of it, what would that be? You know, I've said that many times. If I had a basket full of recruits here, how many of you would take one or two or three, right? So it's just kind of finding the way. Let's move those dreams into reality by taking the action steps that are needed to actually get you with those people that are going to be moving in your direction. So parties are still the start of our journey. I'm sorry, guys, I have a really dry mouth today. Probably my medicine, but anyway. Parties are the best, whether they're online. I don't even care if they're book parties, catalog parties, silent parties, messenger party, Facebook parties, texting parties. It doesn't matter, but I will tell you, you're going to gain so much more if you can get your business into some parties. Once you get the parties going, it's much easier to keep the parties going because you get parties from parties. You're always going to grow in that way. And those at the top of the mountain, you know what? They didn't fall there. It was a climb. It's a climb to get to there, and you got to keep climbing to stay there. And recruiting is absolutely, you may have heard of RITA, RITA. Recruiting is the answer. If your sales are low, recruiting is the answer. Bring in new people and they'll have activity. If your parties are low, get one and bring in some more activity. Recruiting is really the foundation of your growth. And what's most important for those of you that are new managers or wanting to make that next step, recruiting has to be part of your weekly schedule. You have to find a place somewhere in the week, or even if you just know you're going to the doctor or the dentist or whatever, you got to talk to some people. Recruiting is something that if you keep it going consistently, you'll never be worried about making your minimum. You'll never worry about making your goal. You'll start thinking about, instead of making your $3,000 a month, you'll start thinking about making your $9,000 a month. And the recruiting is absolutely part of it. If you can work as you're moving toward moving up in the business, starting with yourself first, it always starts with us, talking to people and bringing in one new team member a week, you will never have to worry about where you're at in the business. You will always have something going on with the number of people. And I hate to say it, but reality is you got to go through the numbers to find the ones that are going to, they say cream rises to the top. So you have to have throw a bunch of things in there to find the ones that are actually going to understand the value of what this business can do for them. And we're making a difference in their lives by just opening the door and allowing them to come in. When I think about the first person I talked to about joining, she was all about getting those, we had to have 6 parties in 3 weeks lined up before we could even get our kit. So she said, and I had just moved there. I didn't know my neighbors. They didn't even speak English. And she said, well, let me know when you find your 6 people. Okay. And so, of course, I didn't hear from her again, but I did place an order and I had to call her and ask about my order. She goes, oh, I was just waiting for you to tell me you're ready to start. And I said, no, I just need my order. I don't know people yet, but I do need my sipper seals and my spice shakers, right? Because that's what I needed. But then a little while later, somebody that my husband worked with, his wife was complaining that he had to get out, or he was complaining he had to get out of the house because his wife was having a Tupperware party. My husband said, tell her to invite my wife. She wants to meet people and she likes that stuff anyway. I went to that party and I asked the lady there, I kind of am interested in doing this so I could get a discount. And she made up my 6 parties. Total, not one of them was real. Even my deceased mother-in-law was one of the 6 parties. And I go back and I look at it and I think, did she really help me or did she hurt me? She didn't show me or help me learn how to actually do a party, but she got me in the door. And that's probably why I am so open-minded to let anybody come in and try, because we never know if it's going to work for them or not. And what made the difference, the bigger difference was, she'd call me and don't you have anything to sell yet? And I'm having trouble making the sales to keep my van and blah, 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 and that always just bothered me so much. But I got a phone call that said, if you want to keep getting your discount, you need to attend the meeting. And I don't know if you've all attended some of the things that we've done, but reality is, if you've had a bad week, you really need Rally to get you pumped up, get you going, get you excited, looking at what else is there. And if you've had a good week, Rally needs you. And I say Rally as in our Monday night things. Okay. If you've had a good week, then we need you. We need you to come on and we need you to share what happened last week that made it good, that made it feel better, that allowed you to reach more people and share the good stories. Because when we can share our good stories, then we also are helping others within our team. And I will always say, we are always better together, no matter what. So we want to keep building and inviting people to come with us. She said I had to go if I wanted to keep getting my discount. That night, back in that day, we were able to give out the manager bonuses in cash. And there's 2 streams of income as a manager. We were able to give those out in cash. And I watched that and I called the next day and I said, you mean you can really make money doing this? Because I didn't know anybody that did it as a living or as a job. I just knew people that did it for the discount like I wanted to do. So it really matters how we connect with people, and not to ever, never give up. Never give up. She could have given up on me because I just wanted to do my own thing and I wanted her to leave me alone. But she didn't. She invited me in her own unique way. I'll say it that way. In her own unique way, she invited me to attend so I could keep getting my discount, because that was the single thing that I wanted at that time. So then I'm watching these people, everybody's hugging and jumping and congratulating each other and all that kind of stuff. And I really didn't get it. It felt like I was in a cult more than anything. But then as you start learning a little bit more about it, and then I saw the money being handed to those people, and that was their 1 month bonus, one of their bonuses for 1 month, 800, 900. I mean, because they had us count out loud with them. What a difference that made to me. And that's what really was my turning point, when I said, can you really make money doing this? So we sat down and we actually talked about, well, it starts with having a personal schedule. And of course, back then, I mean, we did 5, 6 parties a week back then. Right now, I would say if you can even get yourself into 2 parties a week, it will make a difference. It's a place to start. So working on having something in your date book, some kind of activity each week, that's going to get you started. Then on top of that, you want to bring in 3 people to join you in the business. And of course, many of us come in just thinking we want the discount. We don't even know about the more that is available out there. So we've got to keep an open mind and let them know there is more available. There's always more. It's just finding our path. And everybody's path is a little bit different, but yet there is a path there. And what you'll also find, oh, this isn't, where did it go? I was looking for the next, there it is. Okay. Your success steps. Did I miss one? No, that's where I was. Your success steps. So as we're reaching out to new people, we have to get stronger with those conversation starters. What are the things that we can say to open a conversation with people? And I know I've had many of you laugh at me, and I've shared this in the past. I still know it makes a difference. Did it today. Like when you're at a store and you're going to check out, you typically look for the shortest line, right? I mean, that's what most of us do. And I'm going to encourage you, if you have a little bit of time, to look for the line that has somebody with a child in a shopping cart, because children can be the best icebreakers. And you just, as you get in line behind them, oh, how cute. Is it a boy or a girl? Oh, what's their name? How old are they? Just fun conversation, little things like that. And you can tell by the response of the person if they're warm to your conversation or if they're distant, because, people are different about, people are different. Today's world is not as safe as it once was, but just opening a conversation, some people will still love to talk to you. And so we have to make that effort to try. Another thing that I use a lot is complimenting. Oh, that's a cute handbag, or those are cute shoes. Things like that, just a way to open the conversation. And you can kind of get a feel from those people on how responsive they are. And I'm with Tupperware, and I'm always looking for people that are looking for me. Do you have a Tupperware consultant already? And the toughest part of that, guys, is you ask a question and then you got to put a zipper on your lips, because we have such a tendency to keep talking because it's a little awkward feeling for us. So we want to keep talking so that we're not standing there in silence. But if I ask you to just be quiet and sit still for 10 seconds, it's amazing how long that period of time truly is. So when you ask a question, do you already have a consultant? Or how old is he? When you're asking a question, we've got to pause and allow them to respond. That's where we can start having a little bit more of a conversation. That's where we start bringing people with us. So I will never tell you to do anything that I haven't already done or that I'm not willing to do, because we all go through all of these steps, and we have to find which steps work for us, the right thing at the right time. And we don't always get it right, but the more we do it, the better we're going to get at it. And again, yesterday when we were chatting, it was like, I just need your words to come out of my mouth. And guys, you know what? If you've been doing this business for 35 years, as I have, the words would just be coming out of your mouth as well. Is it always right? No. Sometimes I get it wrong. I'm normal. I'm human. I'm like everybody else. And the same thing you'll experience that same thing. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I don't get all like go back in a corner and pout anymore. I never did a lot of that, but I did have occasionally. But you know what? Sometimes people are going to say no just because they're in a bad mood that day and they just don't want to deal with anybody or anything. And you can't take that personal. You can't take that personal because you don't know what's going on in that person's world, right? So it's always continuing that conversation, asking a question, putting the zipper on your lip, waiting for them to answer. And another one is, when's the last time you've seen a Tupperware catalog? And people today have no idea. And I know you hear it because I hear it all the time. Tupperware's still around? I thought they went out. I thought they went out of business. We had that little bit, that was out in the news for a while. Our former CEO really didn't do us any favors, but the fact of the matter is, we are strong, we are solid, we are going places. We are really working on brand awareness right now. And that's why we do have things in what we call the omni channel. You might see something on HSN. Somebody sent me a picture over the weekend of a Bread Smart at Marshall's. And that Bread Smart has been out as as some of us know, for a couple years, here and there and here and there. They've had it on HSN, they've had it on the CBS deals, or, some of those kind of things. And the thing is, it's just brand awareness, letting people know that Tupperware is still here and Tupperware is solid. We're 77 years old. And we're inviting people to come in and join us because there's so many people out there that have no idea how to find a Tupperware consultant. And when you talk to people and you tell them you're with Tupperware, like on the cruise, I could think of 3 or 4 people like, oh, I'm from the Philippines. My mom used to do Tupperware in the Philippines. That was our server at dinner at night. And, oh, I want to make sure I get your information so I can tell her about it. So it's just opening the door. Tupperware is still around. Tupperware is better than ever. And letting people know they can actually grill a hamburger in their kitchen, in their microwave, without having to go out in the rain and do it on the grill. I mean, a hamburger takes what, 5-6 minutes? So think about the things that we have that can make a difference in the lives of others and make it easier for other people to be able to have a better life, be able to make healthier meals for their family, quick and healthy meals, or for themselves for that matter. You're just thinking about what can you do to make a difference for that person. So where do I start? So recruiting bids, anytime you're doing a party, anytime you're out and about, like when I ask people if I'm the Tupperware rep in the area and I'm looking for people that are looking for me, and they'll be like, Tupperware? I didn't even know Tupperware was still around. Oh, yes, that's why I'm talking to more people, because we are so understaffed right now at Tupperware, and letting people know we are still here. And we've been very innovative, and we've developed so many new products that I would love to share them with you. So you can take where they say they didn't even know Tupperware was still around, you can turn that right around and say, that's why we're looking for people to join us right now. Does that make sense? We're looking for people to join us. So you always want to have, that's a kind of a recruiting bid there, just kind of turning it around. Visuals, if you're doing like a vendor event, which we'll be doing that training next Wednesday, vendor event, or if you're doing, setting up a display, or even at a party, have something on your table that is visual that could draw people in or to ask you a question about. Like I have a Fridge Smart container because when I joined Tupperware, I made a smart choice. And so in my Fridge Smart container, I have a quarter because we make 25% of everything we sell. I have a diamond bracelet because, well, it's not real, but it looks pretty. But because sometimes we're awarded with jewelry and other great things. I also have an airplane in there, a little toy airplane, because sometimes we have an opportunity to earn free trips where Tupperware pays for everything. They even handle our luggage. I also have in there a rubber band, because Tupperware is so flexible, right? Tupperware is flexible, so the rubber band reminds me to say, you can work when you want and how you want. You might have a watch in there. A watch would be because you have control of your time. You get to decide when you want to work and when you don't. And so that's what the watch represents, is you having control of your time. So, and I have it in a Fridge Smart. So it's on my display. If I'm at a vendor event or at a party, it's on my display. And somebody's going to ask, what are those things in that container? Because they're not fruits and vegetables. There's other things. Oh, another one, I always put a pink slip, a pink Post-it note in, because in Tupperware, you never have to worry about getting a pink slip. You don't have to wait for somebody to die or retire to move up. You can decide you want more and just do it. And you don't ever have to work. Now, we are in charge of hiring and firing ourselves. And I don't know about you, but I have fired myself many times, but I've rehired myself and started again. Because sometimes we just need to get rid of the junk and just refocus ourselves as if we're brand new and we're moving in a new direction. Okay, so those are some ideas for visuals, or maybe just a little tent card. You can easily just make a little tent card from an index card. You know, the index cards are really, really cheap, and I love to use those for tent cards. And just, have you ever thought about opening a Tupperware account? Or who wants to make some extra money? Or would you like to have fun while making serious money? I mean, those are all just little things that get people to question. Oh, it opens a door of communication again. Okay. Then we go into identifying leads. We often think identifying leads are people that might be interested in Tupperware, but that's not what a lead is. Okay, that's not what a lead is. A lead is actually identifying someone that you would like to have on your team, or identifying someone that maybe could use the extra money. Or and this is where parties again give you so much insight, because you can kind of listen to different conversations that are going on. And this one's talking about her furnace just went out and they had to buy a new one. And this one talked about she got a flat and now she's got to buy a new tire, but they tell her she has to get all four because of it's all-wheel drive, you know, and you can hear different things that you can pick up on. Recruit leads are just people that you want to work with, or people that you feel like you can help. There's many people that, oh, I would love to have my cabinets organized like I know, you know, the Tupperware catalog shows you. You know what? Do you know how easily that can happen? And you can talk to them about opening the door for them to come in, and they can work long enough until they've got their kitchen stocked with whatever they want, and then they can leave again. It's or not. By then they typically find out how much fun it is. They've made some new friends, they've made some money, and they want to keep going. Or they want to hang on to at least take advantage of seeing what the new products are and how they work, and knowing that they can get them at a bigger discount. Now, setting up an interview or a chat, this is a little bit different in today's world, but we can still make it happen. Just as I run into people, again, you want to, anytime that you have a catalog or brochure with you, and you're carrying it where you can give it out to people, always, always, always have a Post-it note on the cover. Because as you go to hand it out, that Post-it note on the cover is your reminder to get their contact information. Okay, so, oh, and here's a copy of our brochure. And if you wouldn't mind just jotting down your name and number here, so I can follow up and see if there's any questions or if you need anything replaced. And I'm open-minded to the replacement, because you can actually build your business off of customer service and taking care of people's warranties. And that may not sound like something that's fun, but it really does make a difference when you provide service before sales. It always works in that way. Always offering service, the sales will come through with it. So I get their name and number, and then I go right to my phone. And what's today? Friday. So I would go to, well, I don't work Sunday, so either tomorrow or Monday, I would go into my phone and I would put the reminder in, like 10 o'clock on Monday morning, that I need to call this person back because I gave them a brochure or I gave them a catalog. And you want to make that follow-up call. Hi, this is Jan McDonough from Tupperware. I'm the consultant that ran into you at McDonald's the other day. I just wanted to follow up and see if you had any questions and if you noticed some of those beautiful new products that we have. So you're creating that conversation, and how can you pull more from them? As you can ask questions to gain more information, I always take notes, always, because I forget. But I have done that even when I could remember. I still took notes. Taking notes just helps you to re-solidify the information you've been given. So So I want to just, I'm giving you a call back to see if you had any questions. Did you notice the new products? What did you see that you might like? And then you can go a little more into the conversation depending on what their responses are. So there's no cookie cutter that makes this right or wrong. There's your way. And when you can hear one person share some ideas and another person share some ideas on how they recruit, and you kind of blend those a little with words that you're comfortable with, it really is your own business, and you can take ownership of it by leading the way, by sharing those conversations and pulling pieces to help you create the way you want to reach out to people. So, and really, an interview or a chat is nothing more than, let me tell you about what most people want to know. How much money can I make? I make 25% of everything that I sell, with opportunities for additional bonuses in cash and gifts. Okay. The next thing, how much time does it take? Well, that's totally up to you, because you may want to do a messenger party that might last a half an hour, or you may want to do an in-home cooking class that might be 2 hours. So depending on how you want to work depends on how much time it's going to take, right? The next thing they want to know is, what's it cost to get started? Well, right in the catalog, they've got our 4 different kit opportunities. Now, the virtual kit, the $15 virtual opportunity, it's not really a kit. So I call it a virtual opportunity. And it's only $15. And that's not printed in the catalog because it comes and goes. I think we finally have them understanding the value of it, because we can encourage people to come in with our virtual opportunity of only $15. We can help them set up their launch party, which is where they're going to get all the host gifts, all the free and half price. And anybody that dates from that launch party becomes their dating to start in the business. So they're going to start earning some products, and they'll also be buying some products that they really, really want at their 25% off. Or if it's a new product that's available in sampling, that's 35% off. The advantage to that as their upline is, when they're purchasing the products to build their kit or to build their kitchen, either way, they're making sales credit that you are compensated on as a leader. Okay. If they just go buy the $109 kit and they've got all those modular mates, then there's no sales credit given to anyone, but they do have the modular mates that they can use and they can show. So there's pros and cons no matter how you look at it. But if you can bring them in just $15 virtual opportunity, and we'll set up your launch party. From there, you're going to get some parties, maybe some recruits, some additional activity. You start picking out your free and half price, and that kind of gets it started. Then as they're adding additional things, you're going to get the retail sales credit toward making your goals, as well as being compensated on whatever they're purchasing. So those are good ways. But okay, so that is how much, okay, where do I start? How much money can I make? How much time does it take? What's it cost to get started? And then the last one is typically more about, what kind of support can I expect? Or when can I get some training, or what's available to me? And that's where you can let them know that most all of our training is free. We have to charge $10 for SpringFest to pay for the church that we're doing the meeting in, which is really like, I mean, I've had people say, oh my gosh, that's so low, because we're often used to it being $40, $50, $60, as much as $75, because we've included a lunch. The way we've positioned this is so that we can keep the cost down to a minimum, so we can allow more people to come and take advantage of the training that we're going to have available for that. So, so just kind of, what kind of support can I expect? Every Monday, there's some kind of training. Every Thursday night, we do a cooking show, except last week when we were on vacation, first time in 3 years. But we do that cooking show, that helps people to learn product knowledge, how to use the different products, not just what to say about them, but how to use them. And people want to know, they need to know the features to a product, but they will buy them because of how it benefits them and their family. So it's all about the benefits. They need to know that the Fridge Smart has that little glider bar on top for the mixture of oxygen and carbon dioxide. But what they really need to know is it will benefit them and their family. They won't have to throw it away and go out and buy new. It's going to stay fresher, which means the vitamins and nutrients remain in the food. So looking at we call that FAB, features and benefits, FAB. And they need to know features, but they buy them because of the benefits. So when you're talking with someone about the opportunity, it's just opening the door and having that open conversation. If you were to join Tupperware, what do you think the first couple things are that you would want to have? Okay, you're opening a window of opportunity there. You may have something that would interest them. Or if they're saying they need this or that, maybe it's just a tumbler set that was 15 bucks or something. And, you know, if you feel like you want to offer a bribe, it's your business. If that's something, so you could say, if that's something that you want, I have a set. I would be happy to give them to you for just $5 if you'd like to go ahead and open your account this week. So you want to open your account this week is a type of a close. And most people in our industry of sales fail because they fail to close. It's getting to a point where there's going to be a yes or a no or another contact time. So yes, no, I'm really not sure. Well, let's give you some time to think about it. Now, let me ask, what are you not sure about? I mean, what, if anything, would be stopping you from opening a Tupperware account this week? When we can find out what they're saying no to, we can overcome or help them through whatever that obstacle might be. I use a technique called feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. We've had so many that have felt that very same way. And what we find is if we just jump in and get our feet wet, then we actually can see if it's something we want to do or not. So it's getting them through the hump. So I call it feel, felt, found. There's another one, if this is easier for you, LEAP, L-E-A-P. It's listen, not just hearing, but actually listen to what they're saying, empathize with them, as in, I felt that way myself. I had many others that felt that way. The A is for ask questions. What do you think it would be that would really be holding you back from taking that next step? And then you produce solutions. So that is listen, empathize, ask questions, produce solutions, which is kind of the same thing as feel, felt, found, just whatever is easier for you to remember. So you're identifying, you're repeating what they say the issue is. You're relating with them by empathizing or connecting with them. You felt that way. You've had other team members that have felt that way. And then producing the solution, or maybe you need to ask a question. Tell me a little more about that. What is that that's holding you back? Tell me a little bit more about that. And then you get into the, I found that when, or we found that when, or producing the solution is how can you help them still give Tupperware a try? It used to be when people would be like, oh, well, I just don't have a big enough house to have a party. You find a way to help them. Oh my gosh, I've had so many of my customers tell me that. But what we found was we could find a place that we could meet. And like at what's that called? The restaurant.
Panera.
Panera, thank you. It was close. Thank you. So Panera, I can't tell you how many times I've done things with groups of people at Panera, or like a Denny's, or think about one of those kind of restaurants or coffee shops that you can meet people at. I've done them in Starbucks. Oh my gosh. Find places where you can meet. Or you could say, well, if you feel your home is too small, do you know anyone that has a bigger home that also likes to entertain? Because you could like bring the treats and we could do it at their house. So they clean, you cook, and we could still have, we could make that a double host party, double the fun, double the people, double the free gifts that you get. And that's just another way of turning it around. So, and I could go on forever with overcoming different objections. And if you ever have an objection that you're not sure what to say, ask me. Ask me, because in 35 years, I've probably gone through most any kind of obstacle. And there's always new ways, there's always new words, but just keep trying. Okay, so we set up the interview, or actually we just start talking about it. In the Tupperware world of party planning or host coaching, they often recommend that you talk to your host about joining your team before the party. Well, I was one of those people that I was always so busy, two little kids and chasing, whatever. I would normally plant a seed. Like, oh, and during the party, just watch what I do. You might want to do what I do too, because it's so fun. Okay, you're planting a seed. Then at the end of the party, to what I would say, conduct the interview or convert the host would be more along the line of, well, Dawn, you've got 2 bookings from your party tonight, and you're probably going to go to those parties since they dated from you. Am I right? Do you see what I'm doing? I'm smiling, I'm nodding. You can hear the voice tones. You're probably going to go to those parties. Am I right? So then you'll say, I can give you an opportunity instead of going to those parties and spending your money. I can give you the opportunity to go to those parties and make some money. How does that sound? Then put the zipper on and let them talk, because they're going to be there anyway. And how hard is it to hold up a container and say, this is our Explorers tumbler. What would you use it for? And then the guests at the party start throwing out ideas on what they would use it for, and they actually sell it to each other. And that's so easy for you. As a brand new consultant, they're going to be sharing ideas. So you take advantage of it. Anytime you have any kind of a party or a group, whether it's online, in person, if you have somebody that has it and wants to talk about it, let them, because they sell each other on the whole thing. And it really, really works. So I would say, well, Dawn, you know what? Let's go ahead and open your account tonight. And I'll talk you through getting started with these couple of parties. And then you can see if you like it or not and decide if you want to do anything more with it. But you'll at least make some money. How does that sound? So most people won't turn that kind of thing down. They'll be open to at least trying it. And that's all you're asking for. Our job isn't to convince people that they need to do this. Our job is to give them the information and help them see how it can benefit them. And if it can benefit them, they'll want to do it. But we pull out, how is it going to benefit them? Okay. And then the close again, can we open your account tonight? Or let's go ahead and open your account tonight. That's an easy one. And then I used to always say, all you need is a launch party and a friend. So this is another way you can help someone get started. So say Dawn orders a kit. I'm just saying that because I can see your picture. I know that there's more of you there, but I can see your picture. So Dawn decides to go ahead and give it a try. She wants to start with a little bit of Tupperware. So she's going to get like the $99 kit. So she has a few things. And she's going to set up we're going to work together in setting up her launch party at her house. She's going to set up the products on display, like on a little card table or coffee table or whatever. She's going to have it set up, and people are going to come in, and then she can watch what I'm doing. As people are coming in, I'm greeting them. How are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. How do you know the host? Blah, blah, blah. And going through the process of the party. Okay, so that's the double launch and a friend. So that's your first launch. I'm there kind of going through it, but then you're going to have a date, which is like maybe 2 days later, because somebody's going to not be able to come on the date of your launch. And you could say, oh, that's okay. I'm having my second one on Monday, the 10th or whatever the date is. And so then they can come to that one. So double launch and a friend is I'm working with you, setting you up for your first launch. I'm going through it, helping you with it. Then, depending on how that went, whether you're going to just attach it to the second one that you're going to have a couple days later, or whether we're going to close that one and then we'll go ahead and you'll be doing the second one on your own. It's in your home. It's going to be people that you already know, everything's set up. We kind of did a rehearsal, more or less, with the original launch. And so now you've got a little bit of an idea on how you're going to do it for the second one. And then the BFF is just, double launch, the first launch, then your launch, then a party with, you've got somebody, a mom, a sister, a cousin, a girlfriend, a neighbor, coworker that's going to have a party with you. So that gives you an opportunity to really feel what's going on and how to move it forward. So I'm going to take a breath. Does anybody have any questions? I didn't see anything coming up in the chat, but I want to give you an opportunity to come off of mute and ask, or just ask. No questions? Okay, we're going to keep going. So, recruiting visuals at the party. Here's some ideas. Now, I know not everybody's into partying, but even if you're doing it online, I got to tell you, that's where you make the most money and you have the most fun. I really am 100% in belief of that, because Tupperware has thrown out so many different sales over the last couple of years when we had that bad leadership experience. That people have become much more of order takers. But if we can group it back together where people can get together and have some fun together, everyone needs to have more fun. And anytime we can find excuses to group more people together, it's beneficial. So, and this would also work for vendor events, but like on your display table, and now hiring. Many people use that. I personally don't like it because I'm not hiring you. I'm just opening the door for you to come in. You're not my employee. But if you're comfortable using that, that's something that many people have been successful with. So who am I to say, right? Where will the party take you? We always have a recruiting flyer of some type. So taking that recruiting flyer, you can laminate it and then carry it with you over and over and over. Like I have a handful of things that I laminate and I just take them with me when I'm out and about. Like I have it with all the compensation, the personal sales volume bonus, the Vanguard bonus, the Profit Plus, all the compensation. That's another one that I just like to laminate and carry with me. I also do with the thank you gifts. Did you know just for having a party, you get to pick one of these for free? So having something that you can use over and over. The Confident Start flyer, we've got another new Confident Start. Those that joined in February get to take advantage of both. They get to take advantage of the old program and the new program at the same time, which is so great for anyone that joined in February. But we do have a new one that we're moving March people into. And so make sure you have that printed, that people can see it, and that you know what it's about. Display and say yes bonus offer. Well, we've had something for when they join and they do their first $100, there's something to it. So that's moving into the Confident Start program, but it's still a way to start. Toy cars. So we do have a car program. We don't have a lot of people at Explosive Power in cars right now, so there's not a lot of conversation about it. But we do have a car program where Tupperware pays the taxes, the plates. If I wear out the tires, I can drive into Goodyear and they call Wheels and they put new ones on and I sign my name and drive away. It doesn't cost me anything. So it includes the tire program. You and your significant other are fully insured. You could go anywhere you want, anytime you want. So the car program is a really big deal. And every 2 years, just when you get it broke in, you have to take a new one. Now that's all out of whack right now because of COVID and the supply chain, but we're getting back into that. They're ordering cars again. So the car program will become more popular. And these are just ideas of things that you can show. Maybe something from a trip that you've been on. Like the cruise that Brian and I just went on, that was from Tupperware. We earned it from our WOW program. As a director and hire, you can be in this WOW program and you can earn, there's so many things to choose from. It's just kind of crazy. Dawn, do you have a question?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
When I went to Atlanta and I
Mhm.
seen all the Tupperware cars, that's when I decided I wanted to drive a Tupperware car. And I was gonna make my goal for that. So I just had to tell you, until you see one up close, it's like, wow. I mean, there was a convertible. There was SUVs. There was tons of them. So
I drive a Buick Enclave right now. I've had
oh,
I've had the Acadia. I've had the Cadillac. I had several Cadillacs. I had Yukon XLs.
oh
Um,
my goodness.
we actually kind of made it a game. Every 2 years, I would pick one year, and then the next one Brian got to pick because we used to get to pick colors also.
Oh
So
wow.
so we took turns. And it's just amazing that there is such a program available for everyone.
Yes.
We pay for gas and oil. That's what we do.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing. And it is fun when you come to SpringFest. You'll probably see the same thing if you have the opportunity to come. But it is so powerful. And anytime you go to Jubilee, that's in August in Florida, you'll see so many Tupperware cars. And they used to not be branded. I can't remember how long ago we started branding them, but that makes it even more of a wow when there's Tupperware people that get together. Like when I used to have director meeting at my home, and up and down the street were all these Tupperware cars, and they said Tupperware. So everybody knew I was having a Tupperware meeting at my house. It's fun. And it's great when you're part of something bigger. Each one of you is part of something bigger because you can take this business as far as you want to go. If you just want to do a party a month and have an extra $100 to spend for you and your family, great. If you want to make 500 a month for you and your family, that's even better. But we're not going to look at you or treat you any differently whether you want a lot or you want a little. Everything is available for everyone at any given point in time. We just open the door and give you an opportunity to come in. So there's a little bit more on the party, but we want to talk about recruiting a little bit more. So I'll go till 2:30 and then I'll stop because I'll just keep talking. I could talk for hours. Or if you need to go and come back, whatever. So your host is your number one lead, okay? Your host is your number one lead. It's always easiest to recruit your host because we already know they love Tupperware. We already know that they're interested in getting more for free. They are the perfect lead. Now, they may or may not want to join, but what you want to look at it as it's your job to give them the opportunity, to offer it to them. It's just like when you're on a plane and the flight attendant comes down and would you like a beverage? Would you like a beverage? It's just part of the job. It's the same thing if you're in a restaurant and you've had to get doggy bags because you got way too much food, and they'll still come and bring you the dessert tray. Would you like some dessert? You know, it's like think about giving the same opportunity to everyone. It's not about picking and choosing. Now, if you're first approaching people, like I really want you on my team because you're so much fun and you were so great at the party. That's different. But if you got a group of people here and you can't go to one and say, oh, I've got this delicious plate of warm, hot, fudgy brownies. Oh my gosh, they're just mouth-watering. Would you like one? Mm. And then you skip a couple and you go to another one. Would you like one? I mean, that's kind of what we do when we're not giving everyone the same opportunity. Open the door. We don't know who's going to say yes or no or whatever until we actually ask. So if you use a door prize slip, the numbers 7 through 10, I can go over that at another time. We're not really into home parties fully yet, so I don't want to go too far on that, but I can give you some other things to be looking for. Guests who share ideas. If you're in a party and they're like, oh, I want to, they want to say something about this product. They want to say something about that product. The guests that want to share ideas, that is a great recruit lead. The guests that kind of looked like a consultant, kind of positioned themselves and really knew about the products. That might be another one. People that are the friendliest, people that are the busiest, people that are busy know how to get stuff done. They might be crazy, insanely busy, but they know how to get stuff done. So busy people do really well in this business. Somebody that maybe ask you about, do you really make money doing this? Like I did, because I didn't know. The guest that asked a lot of questions, maybe the guest who was there early and helped you set up, or maybe they stayed and helped you pack your kit back up before you left. Those are people that want to be needed. They appreciate, they want to help. And those are great people to bring onto your team because we all need those helpers along with us. Mentioned a new home. That's an opportunity to talk about how would you like to stay? You're in a new house. Would you love to have some new products for that kitchen? So that could be another opener. The guest who ask why or how to get started. That's kind of a give me as well. Or you hear somebody complaining about their job, their regular 8 to 5, whatever, and they're complaining about it. You've got an opportunity to give them life on their terms by joining you in Tupperware. Now, I never tell people to leave their full-time job until we're sure that they're solid in their Tupperware business and the schedule, because I don't want to put anybody in that position. Personally, I encourage people to wait and not to leave their job until they've got their Tupperware business rolling, like they've got some consistent activity on a weekly basis. And also, how much money do they need to bring in so we can get the Tupperware business to the amount that they need to bring in before we let go of that other one. But they'll find joy in what they do with us in Tupperware, where not so much in their job that they're unhappy with. Somebody, oh my gosh, always, no matter what it is, invite them to bring a friend with them, a friend or two, because the friend or two that come to the party or that come to the meeting, those are people that typically don't know anybody else involved in Tupperware. And you are now their contact. So when they bring a guest or a relative with them, yeah, that's like a new customer to you. And what you also find is those guests are typically the ones that will date or join with you. They'll at least date a party because they don't know of anybody else having a party. Okay, so that just kind of opens that door. The ones that have the biggest order, they love Tupperware and they want more. The one that has the smallest order. Okay, so our assumption would be they need money. And of course, we don't want to say, oh, well, I can see you're a little down and out because you could only order one thing. Would you like to sell Tupperware and make some money? Because that's not going to go over real well. But you want to say, I see that you only have a couple items on your order, and I would love to give you the opportunity to have more. And how about free or half price? So let's just schedule you a little party just like this one, where we can help you get a few more of those pieces, because nobody can get everything they want at one time. As you're filling out the wish list, there's always going to be more things that you want. So the guest who's a stay-at-home mom, this is something that can work around the activities with their kids and those kind of things. People that you like the most, people that really paid attention to everything you did and said. It's amazing as you learn the different personality styles. The guest that talks about their budget they only can spend this much. Would you like some extra money? Would you like to earn some extra money so that you can do a little bit more? And of course, the guest that's the life of a party, that's kind of a give me. Those people that just overflow with joy and share with you. So I'm going to close this training right now with the top five. The top five here. What would you do if you had $1,000 in the next 30 days? If I gave you $1,000 in the next 30 days, what would you do with it? This is where we really need to zip and listen, because you're going to pick up things that that are important to them, that are priorities to them. If I had an extra $1,000 this month, what would I do with it? And it could be anything from getting new tires on your car to maybe paying the mortgage for the month, or maybe paying the rent, or paying the insurance bill. It could be going on a trip with my family. So if you had an extra $1,000 this week, what would you do with it? If you can find out what they would do with it, then that's going to give you another avenue. The more information you can gain, the more angles that you have to help them see how this could fit for them. Could you see yourself doing what I do? And then again, just listen, and you're going to get all kinds of oh gosh, I can't stand in front of people. Well, that's okay, because we also offer Facebook parties, catalog parties, texting parties. So you wouldn't have to stand in front of people, or you could even sit down with the rest of us and do the party if that's what you choose. Okay, what did you love most about my job? They saw me come in, they saw me greeting people, they saw me sharing ideas, blah, blah, blah. So what did you love most about what I did? Would that interest you? So you want to hear what they liked. And would you like to have more information? That's typically a yes or a no. Or you can just say, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being no way, no how, and 5 being sign me up today, where are you? What are your thoughts right now? And here's the thing, if they're at a 1 or a 2, well, it sounds like it might not be your thing. Maybe you'd like to just go ahead and schedule a party so you could get some products free and half price for yourself. Now, if they're in the 3, 4, then I would say, well, it sounds like you might have a few more questions. What is it that's kind of holding you back? And of course, the 5 is oh, well, let's go ahead and get things started and open your account tonight. So getting a scale, I personally, I use 1 to 10, but 1 to 5 is the same thing. It's just, ranging where your numbers are. If I'm doing on a scale of 1 to 10, 8, 9, or 10 are the assumed yes. Always. 8, 9, or 10 are the assumed yes. 4 through 7 are a party. 1 through 3 is place an order, or maybe you know of someone that would be interested in Tupperware. So that's kind of just giving you a little bit of an overview on things to look for, ways to identify, and questions to ask. When we can ask questions, we gain that information so that we can personalize what Tupperware can do for them. It means you listened to them, not just heard them, but you listened to them. And you can offer it back to them in a way that is going to feel like you're reaching out to them personally. It gives them that warm feeling that you cared enough to listen, to know what maybe it is that they need that will help them take that step forward. But the bottom line, the thing you want to know about recruiting mostly is that you have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others. You have that opportunity. Just think about how you will feel when you bring somebody in and they earn an award, or they make the recognition, the weekly boom. Imagine the pride that you're going to feel knowing that you had just a little bit to do with them being successful or them getting their name in print. You can make that difference. It's if we help others, the rewards always come back. It comes back to Brownie Weiss's thing. When you build the people, they'll build the business. There's so much truth to that. Zig Ziglar, I listened to his son Tom is doing some training now, and he brought up his dad's quote: "When you help enough others get what they want, you'll get what you want too." And that is so true. And that's what the best part of this business is it's we help others, we make a difference in the lives of others, and then they are rewarded. And that gives us, there's nothing that no amount of money can make you make up for how you feel inside, knowing that you made a little bit of a difference for somebody else. So I'm going to be quiet. Does anybody have any last comments or questions before I close us out tonight or this afternoon, whatever time it is? Any questions or comments? Did you learn anything? Tell me one thing that you learned.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry.
It's
I was talking, but nobody was listening because there was no sound. The mute was on. I just wanted to, my personal spark on recruiting is because I found happy in recruiting. You know, for so long, everything's looked so horrible. And, you know,
You're
why would
talking COVID horrible, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
For everybody, you know, and now there's so much joy and possibility, and we get to share it with everyone. And this is helping me remember, oh yes, do that. Oh yes, do that. Because we all sometimes get stuck in our little ruts and we forget.
Absolutely.
So this is wonderful that we get to, that you had this so I can remember, oh yes, I used to do that. That was fun.
Great. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Patty. We do it. I'm no different than anybody else. It's like, why did I stop doing something that worked? But we just do that. And so I'm glad if there were a few little nuggets that gave you a little nudge or reminder of what can make a difference. Okay, anybody else?
My biggest thing is that I need to learn to shut up and let them talk. That's my biggest problem, I think. And I really liked how you went over where do I start, you know, the recruiting, the visuals, the leads, you know, that's what I need to work on. And I really needed that. And thank you.
Well,
thank you for this
good.
training. I really needed it.
I'm glad that you could pull that from it. And, you know, there's no right or wrong way to do any of this. There's just, we share best business practices or things that worked for us or that we know have worked for others. And we've got nothing to lose but just try it.
And our Kathy's how did you like it, girls?
I liked it. And a lot of times I think when we try to recruit someone, we don't listen because we're so excited that we're going to have someone else to come in with us, that we talk too much and don't let them get a word in.
You are absolutely right, my dear. Absolutely right.
That's me.
Well, I still get like that. I mean, we get excited and we just want to spew more information.
Right.
We trip
We
over
want
our right.
And show them how much we love it and that, you know, they're going to love it too.
Yes. Thank you, Kathy. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Kathleen, Teresa, Melissa, any comments? Oh, they might have stepped away as well. Well, I want to thank you.
I'm driving. I'm sorry.
It's okay, honey.
I'm listening.
Did you hear anything you liked? Miss Teresa? She might be in one of those zones.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I liked everything. It was a great review.
Good. Good. Well, I
I've
did
got
record it so you can listen again if you want, when you're not driving.
Okay.
That's great. Well, thank you for taking time today, guys. I have some more I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to try to do some 15-minute trainings where I can add them. I have a YouTube channel now, so I have a place to put them, and that will allow you guys to have more opportunity for training when and whenever you want. You can go and grab this or that, and I'll try to theme each training a little bit different since I'm going to keep them short. How's that sound?
That's
Sounds great.
amazing. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, gals. Well, have a great rest of your day. Happy weekend.
You
And
too.
we will see